Hello, my name is Kerrioth, and today we are going to talk about this chap right here, what you can see in front of you, Clotticus, which, excellent naming convention once again for the Death Guard, which is part of the new Space Marine Heroes Series 3 Anti-Heroes Death Guard thing. It's getting very complicated, let's be honest, but we already have a couple of images from when Space Marine Heroes Series 3 was announced, and now we have this, which has come from a Japanese hobby magazine. And to be honest, I'm quite liking this dude. I mean, we're slowly getting, by the looks of it, little teasers, little hints here and there from various sources. And this guy actually looks pretty good. I mean, we can compare him to the stuff that we already saw on the community site, which I will pop up on the screen every now and again so you can see what we already have. In terms of unique characters, this one is actually not too bad. Clotticus, I think, is okay. He's not massively busy. Something that is, I think, a bit of an issue with the Death Guard range is that they can be a little bit fiddly, a little bit excessive in terms of detail here and there, and the silhouette can be somewhat spoilt by the fact that there's so much going on. This guy actually looks pretty decent. He's not completely covered in stuff. He isn't too busy. He isn't over adorned with horns and like fungus growths and tentacles and all manner of stuff. He actually looks pretty reasonable. For the first time, I think just ever, really, I prefer the unhelmeted head to the helmeted one, which never happens for me. I cover that up. Cover it up. Don't take a bolt round to the face and die. Keep your helmet on. Although, admittedly, there's a good chance you might die from that anyway. You know what I mean? Keep the helmet on for the most part. This guy looks, frankly, disgustingly, weirdly alien enough, due to the big pipes sticking out the front of his face, that the helmeted version, I think, looks a little bit worse. I think the helmet, in fact, looks too cartoony for me. The helmeted version of this dude. It just there's something about the central eye lens, the mouth grill having teeth, but only like a few in like a weird sort of, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it as much as the bare head. The bare head actually looks pretty threatening, it looks pretty nasty, it looks very, very Nurgle. The helmet just isn't quite on the same level, it's not got quite the same feel to it. It seems a little bit, just both plain and cartoony at the same time, which I don't think is a particularly good look. In fact, it kind of reminds me of the bloat drone, in a way, weirdly. The bloat drone looks good because of the size of it, the shape of it. That sort of looks like a miniature and baby version of it, which I'm not entirely sure works all that well. Detail-wise, again, not too bad. There's a couple of horrible tentacles dripping down. I'm not 100% sold on the worms with the mouths that are wrapping around the staff and looking at you, which it's a bit of a weird choice, I think, in a way. I'm not entirely sold on those, but I think you could probably mess with those to make them look a bit more threatening and a bit less cute. I think that's the main problem. They look a bit cute. They don't look particularly nasty. They just look like you could easily pet one of those and it would be fine. Similar thing with the staff itself. I think the staff itself is pretty good. I do quite like it. The sensor at the top is nice. There's a weird eye skull thing with like all teeth hanging off it, which again I quite like. The little lad with his head stuck through the other open circle of the Nurgle symbol at the top of that staff, I'm not quite feeling that one again. Again, that's a little bit too cutesy, but that is something that once again I think you could probably mess with to make it look really, really nasty. You could file off the hand, cut off the body, and it would I think it would look a little bit better that way, personally, anyway. I'm not a massive fan of that little guy up there. The rest of it is decent. I have to admit, the stuff for the Death Guard for this Space Marine Heroes series is actually looking not too bad. It's not falling too heavily into the trap of some of the Death Guard stuff in that they're being overly busy. It seems to be a little bit more restrained, and the stuff that's on there, whilst some of it is a little bit cutesy, I think it flows a little better than some of the other models that the Death Guard has. So, Clotticus, it looks alright. He looks pretty decent. A little bit of work and he could be really quite creepy and nasty to look at. Just take a little bit of the cuteness off some of those creatures, and I think you'd be good to go. So yeah, that is one of the leaked images, or at least it appeared in a magazine, so I don't know whether that counts really as leaked or not. And relatively clear pictures this time round, which is nice. We don't often get those, let's be honest. Let me know what you think of this lad in the comments down below. Feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you don't want to click the Patreon thing, there is an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, where you can click on it, and then if you buy Warhammer 40k stuff, or indeed any other game that you play, because they sell God knows how much stuff there, I get a little something for it. You don't get charged any extra, you just save money on what you'd spend at Games Workshop directly. So that's an option if you would like to take that option. You don't have to, I'm not telling you to, I'm not your mum. So yeah, click all the things if you want, don't click if you don't want to, and I will see you for the next one. Toodaloo.